You guys are getting a little closer to the spring game here with your group. How's it going?
We're every day we're figuring out, what we can handle schematically, what we can handle on the field, off the field, special teams, everything. So I think we're on a really good trajectory to getting where we want to be. Still have a long way to go, but we're making strides every day that are going to get us there. Every day we have to come to attitude to work every day. If that answers your question.
No, so who are some of the guys that have stood out in your position group?
I think it's been pretty, in a weird way, kind of even. Like every day, someone rises and has a day that you maybe hadn't seen yet, and it's been pretty even. And the ball finds the guys that work hard and know what to do. At the end of the day, as Coach Brown says, be where you're supposed to be on time, and those guys that are where they're supposed to be on time generally have the better days and generally walk away with a good feeling after practice. But it's been to answer your question, it's been a mix of guys stepping up, every day. Not everyone, not one guy every single day, and so it's kind of cool to see, and it's slowly ironing everything out.
You mentioned it's just guys so far, but who are some of the guys that have caught your attention or maybe surprised you so far?
Well, let's see. TJ, he's shown some instances where he can really create separation and run away from guys. Corey Milner is the same way. Justin Stevenson's shown some real flashes, along with Josiah Martin. I think for the most part that Baron Tipton, Kyle, Dalton Carnes, and even James, like every single day. So like I said, someone makes a play that, wow, he can really go, and then so that competition is really at a high level right now, and we'll be interested to see when Saturday when there's people in the stands, or who can play with the people in the stadium, and who can't.
Absolutely.
What's it like as a young coach? Just starting out to come into this situation with this batch of coaches.
You learn something every single day. Something you didn't think you were going to learn, you learn every day, and it's not even football. It's preparation of. We always tell the players, don't make the same mistake twice. As a coach, I've learned every day, I should have did this, I should have done that, I should have been prepared in a better way to do this, better way to do that. But, every day I try to learn something new, and just like the players, I try not to make the same mistake the next day. So that's kind of, I approach it one day at a time, and it's really all you can do. But it's been a blast. I'm very thankful to be here, and it's, like I said, every day I'm learning something new that I did not know. And, if you learn something every day, you're doing something right. So.
Yeah, Coach has talked a lot about, his family's background as teachers.
Uh-huh.
How do you see that manifest itself in the way he's, helped you as you started your career?
That's a really good question. He does a really good job of explaining the why to the kids. And on the field, off the field, football, life, whatever, right? The players want to know the why on things. Once they know the why on things, they know the how. So the why, the how, the where, it all comes together, and then you get, guys performing well on the field, off the field. But to answer your question, he's really technical, and he doesn't leave any gray area. Like, someone had asked this question, they're going to get that answer. Now, this is going to be the truth. Maybe sometimes it's not what they want to hear, but that's how you learn, and that's how he teaches. So again, every day I learn something new from him that I didn't think I was going to know. But to answer your question, his educational background, it's always the why, the how, the what, the where, and all of that stuff. And so he doesn't leave any doubt or any gray area on what kids are supposed to do. So I think that's what separates him from others in terms of the kids are going to walk away getting the answer that they want.
How about for you as a coach? How has he helped bring you along?
Well, he really has given me a lot of responsibility in terms of preparation for practice, the installation piece of things, and he shows me the why. And when I maybe do something, he's like, well, we need to wait on this, we need to do this because if we get this or that, this fits better here. And so sometimes it's a let me fail kind of deal, and then fix it after. But he always explains why. This is why, or this is why we can't do it. This is why we can't do that. Save this for this date when we were doing this. Like, it gels together. And then also he just in life, like, I'll handle stuff as a man, and stuff of that sort. So he's been awesome to me, and a big blessing to be here. And yeah, it's been a crazy spring. Something every day going, but it's been a lot of fun.
How'd you find your way into coaching? It seems like you've got one of the more interesting backgrounds of the staff members here.
I was out of high school. I could have walked on somewhere and played, or I've always wanted to be a coach. And so my high school coach, he actually just passed a couple months ago. He was on staff at Auburn before he was my high school coach, and then he knew I wanted to get in coaching. He knew certain guys in that building in Tuscaloosa where I was going to go to school, and he got me an interview to be a student assistant coach. And when I got there, they were like, we're not going to pay you. This job's whatever you make it. And I fell in love with it every day, committed to it. And as I grew into it, Coach Sark came along in 2019, and me and him kind of hit it off, been really close. So I was with him for the last 7 years at University of Texas and Alabama, and then Coach Brown was at Texas last year, and things kind of went from there.
Was this kind of your big break, just to get a full-time staff job like this?
I'm very grateful for it, very, very blessed to have it, and I work hard every single day to make sure that I keep this job. And who knows what's next, but you gotta be where your feet are and take every day one day at a time and go from there.
Is it something you just appreciate? I mean, usually a lot of these guys, like Keyshawn, who we're talking to later, had a really good career here. Having not played in college, is that just do you look back on that and say, wow, I've really had a pretty remarkable rise here that I'm thankful for?
I'm so thankful. I've caught in, a lot of breaks in terms of the people I've met and the relationships I've built, going back to Alabama. That was a revolving door of coaches in and out of that building that they really taught me how to be. I really learned more what not to do than what to do in terms of just how players and how other people remember people for who they are. Not necessarily the football coach as a person. And everything's went from there. I'm truly grateful, and I've had some really good breaks in my life, and hopefully it's not the last, and just keep going from there.
Who was your coach that passed away that gave you the help to get into this?
His name was Jimmy Perry.
Jimmy Perry.
He was my head football coach at St. James School in Montgomery, Alabama.
Coach, you mentioned the spring showcase coming up. Just what are you kind of hoping to see from your position group and the offense as a whole?
Just be the hardest playing unit on the field. Just, people are going to make mistakes. It is what it is. Be the hardest playing group on the field. Play with fanatical effort, and make your plays that come to you. Don't chase anything else. That the best version of you is good enough. Is more than enough. Don't chase things. Let your plays come to you and do your job. If everyone, all 11, does their job, then we're going to walk down the field and have a really good year. But you got to take one play at a time doing your job, and then the sky's the limit.
We're talking to Keyshawn here in a minute. He's a guy that, like I mentioned, had played here before, and you're obviously working very closely with him with the receivers. What's he been like to?
He's been great to me. Especially his knowledge of defensive background is phenomenal for our players. Because not only is he teaching them offense, he's also giving them the defensive standpoint of what they're thinking, what the safety's thinking, what this corner's thinking, what this coverage is supposed to do. He's a high energy guy. He really holds people accountable, and sky's the limit for him as well. He's a great football coach. He's also a really, really great guy. In general, he big family guy, and every day he comes to work with a smile on his face, ready to roll. So.
And he's got the background here, having played here. Has that helped you guys or the staff in general, just his knowledge of this place?
For sure. Trying to think. Yeah, for sure. He knows, especially like in recruiting, you know, like when we're out and about on campus, you know, giving tours and stuff. He knows like where to go. I take this, I get do that, do this, do that, go there, and I'm like, well, wow, he knows everything about this place. So, yeah.
Last question.
Yep, that's what I was asking.
Excuse me. Coach, you're listed as the inside receivers coach, but you mentioned coach plan as well. How do you guys kind of split up responsibilities and just kind of work with that position group?
You know, we handle it together, feed off each other, coach off each other, and what's got to get addressed is specific inside, outside, absolutely does. But we try to have two voices in the room together to make sure the kids are getting everything they need to know. And then if there's time, like on the field, an individual, we'll split. But really, we just want to do what's best for the kids and have their best interests and making sure they have everything they need, everything they need to know, and all the information they need to have.
Are there guys that kind of fluctuate between both of those kind of inside-outside classifications?
Yeah. You know, right now, we're just who can do what, who can do this, who can do that. I would say that right now, everyone's a wide receiver, right? And then whoever's an inside guy, whoever's an outside guys, so be it, right? But right now we're getting the fundamentals, the schematics of what to do, how to do it. Like I said, being where you're supposed to be on time, and you know wherever those chips fall is where they're gonna fall. It's a good question though.
Thanks, guys.
All right, cool, thanks.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
All right, we got Kirkland Parker here with us after practice, the new safeties coach here. How's it going so far in the spring?
Man, it's good. It's a blessing to be here. Excited about the group. Excited to work next to Coach Pollard, man. It's a blast.
What is it that you've liked about this place now that you've gotten here?
Family atmosphere, I must say. And just everything they got for the guys, really. You know what I'm saying, as far as nutrition. And Diaz does a good job downstairs with those guys. So, I mean, it's a great place to be. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, everything's good, man.
What was the connection that brought you here?
So our special team coach down at University of Washington, Petrilli, he was once here, and there's some guys we worked with on staff, so that's how that connection came about.
And what have you seen from your guys so far? Do you like what you have to work with?
Love what I have to work with, yeah. Right? Guys that want to get better, right? Guys that understands kind of what it takes, still kind of got to, drive it out of those guys, you know what I'm saying? That's everything with every player, right? But at the same time, man, their want to is there. Their want to, they're coachable, they're knowledgeable, right? And they want to get better. So that's the best piece about it.
Who are some of the guys that have stood out?
B. Jones, right? Talk about, becoming a leader within a room. He does a good job, as far as, ask him to do something. He does it the right way. Really, Bryce Garza does a good job for us. Talk about as far, we're preaching effort and running to the rock and all those things in spring ball. And he's the number one corporate that he does a real good job with it. So the things we're asking those guys to do, they're doing a good job bringing it to life.
For you, Coach Parker, obviously the transition was. I'm curious about the transition for you getting into this program because obviously you got hired a little later into the cycle than everyone else. Just what was that transition like?
It was smooth, man. It was a little later in the cycle, but it's a blessing to be here. Excited to be here. So when I got the call, coming back to Texas, coming back home. I'm originally from Houston, so coming back home down south was a blessing. So I was excited about that.
Absolutely. How excited were you considering? Obviously, you're obviously on the other side of the country in Washington, but just how was the whole transition over there?
Washington was a great place. You know what I'm saying? I loved every bit of it. I was there for 3.5 years, but it was a blast. But as far as the transition, man, it's been good, and I was excited. Like I said, man, coming back home and letting my parents be able to see games and my family, you know what I'm saying? It's a big piece, so it's been a blessing. Excited
Jones
about
has been highlighted as one of the most consistent players on the defense throughout the entire spring ball season. We kind of saw a little bit of his personality last week or 2 weeks ago. What has it been like working with him, and what does he bring to the table?
Yeah, that dude's full of personality. It's not he's number personality. He got a big spirit. You know what I'm saying? So he's number energy. It's a good working with, man. It's a blessing, and everything you ask of him, he'll do. Yes sir, no sir. No mouthing off. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that aspect of it. So he's definitely going to be a good leader for us this year.
From a physical standpoint, he says he always plays with a chip on his shoulder because of his size. What do you think he brings to the table on the turf?
Instincts, man. He plays with good pad level. He has a knack for the ball, finds the ball, takes it away, does a good job.
How do you think this defense as a whole is shaping up, and where does it still need to go?
I think we're shaping up pretty well. You know, we all have some things spring ball, so we got some things we got to work on here and there. But overall, I think we're on the right path to where we need to get to. We're doing a good job.
You're replacing a lot this year. If you look at the safeties room from last year, guys either graduated or transferred out. Is it coming together with just the guys that, you know, are stepping forward to fill those roles?
Yeah, I would say so. No doubt. I know they had a good year last year. You know, guys moved on and all those things. But the guys we have in right now are doing a real good job.
How do some of those pieces fit in? You're starting to see where maybe these guys would fit in the system as far as starting spots and things like that? Different safety spots?
Say that again?
Different safety spots, and you kind of figured out what pieces fit where?
Right. Yeah, you know, you have boundary safety, field safety, all that. But for us, it's like, you know, we're all safeties in that room. Right, so guys got to be able to play on both sides, right? So you ask them, hey, yeah, we boundary, you know what I'm saying, but you got to be able to play the field, you got to be able to be a DB at the end of the day.
Coach, if you were to break it down into a couple of different things, what are the kind of keys to success in being a safety in this defense?
Physicality, right? Being able to play man coverage, and just understanding. I think you got to see the big picture of football, right? Understanding the big picture, right? Because this defense does ask a lot of a safety, right? So he has to be able to see the big picture and direct traffic and all those things, get guys in position and all those things. So yeah, those three.
So you mentioned a little bit there, but just how much of a vocal kind of role does the new safeties have kind of in college?
Oh, huge. And I think that's on any defense, right? Safeties got to make calls, make checks, this, that, and the third, right? Those are guys on the back end seeing the big picture. So they got to be able to, you know, communicate, be vocal, be loud, you know, understand and say the right things when we're on the field.
And the spring showcase is later this week. What are you kind of hoping to see from your position group and the defense as a whole?
Really just effort, man. We've been coaching it. We've been preaching it as a staff, man. Effort, guys running to the rock, talk about preaching takeaways, right? All those things. So, you know, so that's really what we're wanting to see, right? You know, it's our job to coach those guys and make sure they do the right thing. But the biggest thing we shouldn't have to coach is effort, right? So you want to see guys flying around, having fun, creating takeaways.
Absolutely. We've heard, forcing turnovers is a big priority of this defense. Who's been kind of just notable or really good at that so far?
B. Jones has been really good at it, man. He's got his hands on a couple picks, all those things. Bryce Garza done a good job punching at the rock this spring. So those two have been doing a good job in the room.
You said this defense requires a lot of the safeties. How has that made your job a little bit more fun as a coach?
It's fun because it requires a lot out of me. You know what I'm saying? It's a standard side in the room. It's a standard side for me and Coach Pollard, you know, let that be known. So, I mean, he's a great coach. You know what I'm saying? So working alongside him has been great. And, you know, we demand a lot of those guys because we know what it takes for them.
I heard a lot about Garza, you know, throughout the spring. What is it that has made him stand out over the course of the spring?
You know, I tell those guys all the time, like, you have to have an edge. Something has to give you your edge, and his is his effort. His is his effort, right? He has great effort. He's running to the ball. He's the guy. You never have to look and see him not running. So that's his edge, right? Him running to the rock, punching at it, creating turnovers.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks. You guys are getting a little closer to the spring game. How's it going?
It's been going good. I think offense and defense have put together a lot this spring, and we're just getting better, competing every day, each day. Offense might take a win, and then defense might get us another day, but we've been competing every day. I think it's been really good.
What are you looking for in the spring game?
Just an opportunity to show everyone what we can do, just capitalizing on all the opportunities we get, and operation-wise, getting the plays and knowing what to do, getting everything done, just competing.
Barry,
Oh, go ahead.
Barry, you've been part of this program for a couple of years now. Just what are your thoughts about your place in development and your potential role in this offense and stuff in there?
I think I've been here. This will be my third year. I think I've got to learn from a lot of other receivers that have come through, a lot of older guys. So I'm thinking if I get another chance this year to go out and just compete and do my best, I think I've learned a lot and I'm getting better every day.
Hey, Coach just talked a little bit about how you're kind of have shown out a little bit here over the course of the spring. Is that just because you're becoming more comfortable with your role in the Division I level, or what's caused you to maybe take this big step forward?
I think just work in the off season and learning from the guys around me and the older guys from the years before, and then going against good DBs and good corners and just getting those reps against good players just helps me get better on my own as well.
Neil Brown has highlighted you not only in his introductory press conference, but throughout the offseason as one of the returners that are the core of this roster. What's it been like working under him and the transition from a new offense?
Coach Brown's been great. He's really put a lot of belief into me and trust in me to get better. And he told me I need to put on some weight in off season. I have a lot of work to do, and I think I've been living up to that role or trying my best to. And he's just been giving me the opportunity to go out there and compete.
We've heard a lot about Coach Brown's family's background as teachers. Have you seen his, just that innate ability in him to teach you guys as players and bring you along?
Yeah, sure, for sure. He definitely is a good teacher. I remember in off season, before spring ball even started, we were just doing like straight fundamental work, like just receiver footwork, stuff like that. And he was out there every day, hands-on, with each receiver, like make sure you're doing this the right way. And I could definitely see that teaching from him.
Has that helped you guys grow as players, just his ability to, to bring you along and to kind of show you the ropes to teach you like that?
I think it has helped us grow a lot, for sure. Having a good coach that is good at teaching you how to play your position is very good thing.
What have you seen from this quarterback room so far and what they've given you and the other receivers?
Quarterback room is very competitive. Three really strong quarterbacks right now. They've been making plays to everyone every day. Someone's making plays, so it's very competitive. I think they do their job, put the ball in the right spot for me to catch it and make a play.
What do you feel like are the biggest strengths of that particular room as a whole?
Athleticism. There's an older guy and then there's two younger guys. I think they mix well, teaching and learning from each other. So it's all around good room.
Who's been able to air it out the most so far?
I don't know. They've all been doing pretty good. They all can sling it pretty well.
So you feel pretty confident going into next year that no matter what direction the coaches decide to go, you'll be in a good situation back there?
I believe so, yes.
What makes you feel that way?
Just every day, throwing with them outside of practice, throwing with them inside of practice. Just our relationships with everyone. You just have confidence in all three of them that they'll be able to run the offense and make plays.
Are there some similarities there with those guys? We've heard that from some of the coaches that while they're different quarterbacks, they all have similar skill sets. And does that help you guys kind of advance this offense as you put it in?
Yeah, I think so. They're similar in their own ways. Some faster, some might be able to throw it slightly farther, but they're all pretty similar, very competitive. They all do their job well.
They're all kind of dual threat kind of guys?
Yeah, they're all kind of dual threat, can sling it and can run, which is helpful.
Baron, speaking on that transition from last year's staff to this one, what have been kind of the biggest things you're focusing on in terms of fitting into this new offense?
I'd say just getting the offense down as quickly as possible. And then for me, I needed to put some size on, so I was in the weight room every day trying my hardest to really maximize that part of the game so that it would come show when we get to the field.
How much weight were you trying to put on?
I put on about 10 pounds over winter, and then I'm going to try to put on 10 more going into the summer.
And then speaking on your decision to kind of stay here in North Texas, what kind of went into that decision and what was your kind of thought process?
The coaches, Coach Brown, Coach McLean, my receiver coach, just all the guys that were here in general. We met with all the coaches before we went away for winter break, and I really liked what their program they were bringing in. They seemed to like me and have confidence in me, so I figured out this was the best place for me.
Yeah, Keyshawn has some history here, having had a really good career here, actually. What's it been like to play for him, and what does he bring to the table?
Yeah, he played safety here, actually. I think he brings that side perspective to the receiver room. Having played the other side of the ball, I think that helps a lot with knowing like what the defense is in. Whenever they do this, what do I do? I think he helps a lot with letting me know that.
What's he like personally to play for? Is he
He's a great dude. Yeah, I love him. I mean, he's always got energy. He's always in your grill if you're doing something wrong, making sure you're doing the right thing. Yeah, he's always good.
Does his knowledge of this place really help you guys a little bit, just to kind of know the lay of the land, especially new guys coming in, considering he played here?
Yeah, maybe. I think so. For sure.
When you speak on Coach McLean and Coach Brown, what were kind of the things that kind of resonated with you as to why you wanted to trust them and join this particular staff this year?
Coach Brown, first thing he said when he got here, he was a player first program, really believing in us and trying to build a program around his guys, and I believe that. And when I talked to him, he believed in me. He said he liked what I could do, and he had a lot of confidence. If I had a good off season, I could be a good player.
Absolutely. And then for you, when you reflect on year 1 to year 3, just what are kind of the biggest things for you, and your thoughts on her journey as a whole?
I'd say just getting stronger, bigger, and more reps, gain more confidence off of just doing more reps and against good competition, good players on defense. Getting more and more reps just makes you a better player.
You got elite height. Has that really helped you as you've made the transition to the college level and helped you grow here a little bit?
Yeah, that's definitely been a good thing. It's helpful being taller than everyone else. It allows me to use that to my advantage. I got to stay lower within my routes, stuff like that, but it's definitely an advantage.
Feel like you'll be a red zone target here at some point?
Yes, sir. I believe that as well.
Does he think that could be maybe one of your strengths or something you can provide
I
for
think
this
that is
team?
one of my strengths. Red zone threat, throw it up.
Just throw it up and let you go get it? Nobody else is going to go up there as high as you are?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Derek, you've been part of some pretty explosive offenses here in North Texas. Should fans expect a similar level of explosivity and kind of quality of offense this upcoming year?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely play. We had a really explosive offense last year. We definitely play at that same pace, same speed, and we have a lot of explosive plays that are going to come into account for the season.
Yeah, Coach Dean, I know he coaches the slot guys, but have you gotten to know him and what's he been like to work with?
Yeah, I have. We're all in the same room. He focuses on slots when we're on the field more, but when we're in the film room, he's talking a lot, and he's a really smart guy. He knows his stuff.
What makes you say that? What is it that he does that makes
Just listening to him talk about the plays and like explain the coverages and the operation of what this play is for. He makes it make sense. Really simple terms to understand.
All right, Cameron, so you guys are getting a little closer to the spring game. How's it going?
I feel like we been working hard every day. We growing, finding ways to get each other better, and then like just what Coach taught us today. Today is the most important day, so we're just keeping it with us every day and just trying to get better.
Yeah, and you've got some background, I believe, with this, kind of transferred in. Has that really helped you as you make the transition to this program?
A little bit. Same defense, so it's like I'm able to play book. I get it down faster, so I'm also able to help other guys if they need it or not. Like I'm just on the field, just being a leader on and off the field.
So you're kind of the reference point for some of these guys that kind of teaching this defense a little bit?
Is there?
You think everybody's kind of catching on here?
Yeah, I feel like they catching on, but like we in spring, so like there's gonna be little mistakes here and there, but like everybody getting it, catching their flow, putting their cleats in the ground and rolling with it.
Yeah, what attracted you to this place?
Really, cause like I'm really like at home. Like Louisville, like 15 minutes, so it's like being at home. I was surrounded by so many familiar faces, a familiar place. So it's like to me, it was like it wasn't a question just to come back here.
Cameron, how has that familiarity kind of helped you on the field so far during camp?
I feel like it helped me tremendously because like with the coaches, I'm familiar with coaches like Coach Jordan, Coach Powell, and like the defense I already know. So it's like my brother here too. So it's like even if I need, I can go ask him for help. But most of the time I don't. So it's like now I'm just a shoulder for the younger guys to lean on.
Absolutely. In that safety room, who have you kind of seen transition well into this new team?
Let me see. Transfer well. I gotta say, shout out Tay, B. Jones. I feel like them two for real, and really our whole group, because coming in, transferring in, learning a whole new playbook is difficult. So it's like the way they was able to come in and let coach lead and do the best they can, do their jobs on and off every day. It's really shout out to them because it's a hard thing to do.
So for you, have you noticed any different changes in Coach Powell's defense from Baylor to here in North Texas?
A little bit, not really just like names, but like overall the concept. Like I understand it's just like to me it's really no big adjustment. It's just different words. It's really it.
So how well do you feel like you've known Coach Powell's defense at this point?
I mean, I've been in it. This was like my third year in it, so it's rather it's like the back of my hand.
What should we expect from this defense and his system?
I gonna expect me off the edge. Well, to me, in my eyes, you gonna expect like everything because it's multiple. So you can see me like pressure. We gonna blitz. We gonna play man. We gonna get after the quarterback, and we know how to play zone too. So it's like we can do everything a defense is supposed to do. We can do all that times 10.
Keyshawn played safety here at McLean. You know, I know he's coaching receivers here, but do you ever see him, you know, give you a little pointer here or there? Or
You said who?
Keyshawn McClain, the wide receivers coach. He played
Nah,
safety.
he be man, he's staying
He
on
stays
his
over
side.
there. He
Nah,
never-
he
he
don't be
never-
trying to come back to the dark side for real.
He never comes back.
For you, man, just, what is it like, having your brother here and just having that, family, local in your home nearby as well?
I feel like it's always good to have family around. Cause I remember like my freshman year, like I just had to figure it out on my own because I was so far away from home. So maybe learn like how to value your close ones, your loved ones. So like now, like every Sunday we have family dinner. So I go back home, we all sit together, eat, fellowship. So that's another thing that keep me going. Cause like having my brother, my twin brother, my backbone, like here to hold each other accountable on and off the field like every day.
Absolutely. And you mentioned this, this is your third year in Coach College's defense. How did you kind of approach the obstacle or the mission of trying to catch up with all these guys or make sure all these guys catch up with you in terms of understanding the defense?
I was just going about it as like kind of like it's my first day too. So it's kind of like me going back to class. But like if somebody need help, like I'm always there to help. I'm not just gonna like leave nobody out to dry.
Absolutely. And then forcing turnovers has been kind of a big priority for this defense. Who has been good at that so far during camp?
Peyton, like P, he got like 4. Peyton, so he got like 4. My brother, Chuby getting sacks. It's like really Jay Allen. Everybody just be making their own plays, but them 3 the main ones who be mainly been the ones this spring taking the ball away.
Yeah, Coach's family has got a background. Coach Brown's family does in teaching. Have you seen that kind of manifest itself with the way he approaches you guys? Do you see him as, using that ability with you guys?
Yeah, I feel like because the way he goes about the way he talks to us is like, I feel like sometimes I be thinking like it's like kind of like deja vu. Like I be feeling it from somewhere, but it's like I get it, like he's a great man and we all bought into what he's saying to us, our core values and everything like that. And it's just like, yeah.
What makes you guys buy into his core values? What is it about him that?
It's basically what my eyes is what a football team is supposed to stand for. So like fast, being physical, straining, speed, mental toughness. It's like those are things we mainly built of. Because being a football player, you got to be fast, physical, you got to have mental toughness, and you always got to compete and strain because not everything going to go your way, so it's what you're going to do to get out of that situation.
Cameron, with this spring showcase coming up, who have been kind of your favorite guys to compete against on the offensive side of the ball?
Barnes, I like going against Joe, and I like going against Barnes, Joe. Jab. I like going against Jab. And Christopher Johnson.
What are your thoughts about the quarterbacks as a whole as well, just in terms of what they've been able to challenge you guys?
I feel like they've been doing a great job because it's just like there's no drop off. So like whichever one, it's like really just picking your own points because whichever one you get, they gonna throw that ball. And they know how to terrorize the defense and recover it, so that's a good thing for us. So it's like I like quarterbacks.
What are you hoping to see in the spring game, just as a team in general?
So my eye, I just want to see everybody go out there, have fun, but do their job and no miss errors, really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Cameron.